All right. Evening, folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy death and taxes. Today, we're going to be running something that is, well, sweet, I believe is the word. I was recording a set of matches for daily D&T, and I played against this deck, and it was glorious, and I had to stream with it. So full credit to MTGO Rad Hazard for developing this list, which they called under $400 Snowpox. On Magic Online, it's like $127 because I had to borrow all of these cards. I didn't own a single one of these. So I know. And maybe calling it pox is a little bit deceptive, like because there's no smallpox in this deck, but it's very much a pox deck at heart. Well, you're thinking about buying into Mono Red Prison. If you do, get Chandra Awakened Inferno. That card's been sweet for me. Okay, so what's going on with this deck? So, like a traditional mono-black control deck, you have some amount of discard and some amount of removal. You'll notice the whopping 21 snow-covered swamps here. That is to enable Dead of Winter as a sweeper. It's particularly good, even though you're playing creatures, because 6 toughness, 5 toughness, 5 toughness. The creatures that you're playing are huge. So if you have 4 lands, your Obliterator and Tombstalkers live. If you have 5 lands, this still lives. So you can sweep off most of the creatures in the format while also going and keeping your stuff alive, which is super cool. So one thing that is noticeably absent from this list is the Lilianas at the 3-drop slot. This is playing a full playset of Ashiok Dream Render. So its static ability is spells and abilities opponents control can't cause its controller to search their library. So if you go Dark Ritual this, you shut off your opponent's fetch lands. And the minus ability adds up surprisingly quickly. Rad Hazard, I did not get my 5-0. I missed and went 4-1 in the last round. I hit a very bad matchup. Renin 6, not so good for the little creature decks. But the rest of you will see that on Daily D&T either later this week or next week. So another card that maybe deserves a little bit more play than it's currently seeing is Endless Atlas. I know Dan Miller has tried this card out in some Miracles style decks, and he's always willing to play some slightly untraditional cards that end up being situational but pretty good. So as long as you control 3 of your fancy snow-covered swamps, it's just 2 mana, draw a card every turn, which is really, really powerful. And yes, Rad Hazard is the one I just mentioned a minute ago. They are the deck designer here. So we have 1 non-snow-covered swamp, and that's a Maze of Ith. It's both a utility land in stopping your opponent's stuff, and it's particularly good with Obliterator. Attack with Obliterator, I don't want to block. Then untap the Obliterator and have it for the defensive. The sideboard has some of the Lilianas you might expect. The graveyard hates Spyglass. There's one thing here that's a little non-traditional, just because it's new, and that's the Elder Spell. Destroy any number of target planeswalkers, and then choose a planeswalker you control, put 2 loyalty counters on it. Oh, neat. And note, Elder Spell says destroy any number of target planeswalkers. I'll take your Renin 6, I'll take your Jace, I'll take your Dak Vaden, all of it. It's all gone. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to show off XJ Cloud's list from the challenge because I thought this was absolutely hilarious. And yes, I do nothing a lot. I think I have to do this for the memes. So XJ Cloud somehow top-8'd the Legacy Challenge this weekend with this. So it's cut down the Stoneforge Mystic package in order to play some Squadron Hawks and a whopping 4 main deck Force of Virtues. So the dream is like either Squadron Hawk or a killed Spirit Keeper plus Force of Virtue goes and overwhelms your opponent. I thought this deck list was absolutely hilarious. So the next daily D&T league I was going to record was probably going to be with this list, which just like cut the Stoneforge Mystic package and said like, hey, what if we screw around and just like tax absolutely as hard as possible? But I think I need to save this brew for another week and do daily D&T with that list. Or I might end up with streaming with it, I don't know. Yeah, I thought about throwing Ghost Quarter in this deck list, but I thought Ancient Tomb actually might be better. Anyway, let's get to Poxing. Wait, no. Legacy, League, Snowpox. Let's battle. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that at least some of the cards in this deck are inspired by Travis Parsley. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's conceptually the idea, right? Is like you force a virtue, it grows your team. If they go like turn 2 Ren and 6 minus on like say your mom, then your mom survives and can attack and kill the Ren and 6, and like you can try to get some weird blowouts. It also gives you something to do with like excess Thalias. With one more land, this hand would have been sweet, but this one has to go back. Well, this one's rough too. I'll be keeping it. I'm not happy about this hand. But, like, if Cursed Scroll is good, Cursed Scroll is online on turn 3. That is a good sign that Cursed Scroll will be good. I mean, I really like Sword of Truth and Justice, so it's very possible. I'm just going to jam the Endless Atlas into a Daze here. I don't care about it that much. Like, if I didn't have Curse Scroll on the table, this card would be much, much, much better. So this is 3 to activate. So I could just start like gunning for the Ren and 6, but I don't think the Ren and 6 is a problem right now. So I think I'm just going to go land, Thoughtseize you. Yeah, this is not a particularly potent hand. We'll be taking the Tarmogoyf here. And then on their end step, I'll draw a card. There goes the Preordain. No, at this point, I think it's pretty clear that we're playing against like some sort of like 4-color Delver deck. Like we see the Tarmogoyf and Daze and Ren and 6 here. Oh, this looks super fun. Glad to see you here, Lord Darkview. So this gets played around a Daze. Sort of weird in that like this may catastrophically like grow the Tarmogoyf. I think my opponent will Daze a Curse Scroll. Alright, I forgot about that part. Suck it, Tarmogoyf! I was just so focused on this just being a mill engine because that's what I've seen it be thus far. Okay, this is a little bit of a problem. A Dead of Winter will answer this. Yeah, I'm going to cast the Hymn. I'm just kind of like thinking about how I want to do my turn. I think I'll just lead on the Hymn. And then draw a card with Endless Atlas. See if my opponent goes for me or if they take a turn to kill the Ashiok. They do. Rad Hazard, I wanted to do it the other way so the extra couple of cards that I mill end up in the graveyard. Because if I exile first and then him, the two cards that I him stay in graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and draw. Nice. So now I can nug the Ren and 6 for 4, right? Yeah. Well, I think that Dead of Winter is the best top deck. But I see what you're getting at there. Okay, so they're just taking the point of damage here. It may be correct to just like double curse scroll them right now. I think I'm going to do that. So I really like that this can pave the way for the Dead of Winter. But I do need to draw it. For the post-sideboard games, we have a bunch of edicts to help with this exact problem. Wrenn 6 and Scalding Tarn. Presumably left my opponent with Force of Will, given how they were tapping there. Could be a bluff, though. All right, am I running this way? So right now I can hit them to 4 down to 8. So they need 3 attacks to kill me or bolt. I need 3 turns to kill them. I get mine first, so like technically I'm winning the race. I mean, let's do it. Outright. That's not bad. Fluffy, you say? All right. There's no shuffle on that Ponder, which is a little bit concerning. That poses a problem, because that changes the clock by a turn. So this is going to be sort of a coin flip situation, where if I curse scroll, target Wrenn 6, and it works, then I probably win. Otherwise, I probably lose. You know, and by probably I mean like there's still real problems. Red, like a red spell is just devastating. All right, fatal push, 1-time dealer, fudge. All right, so we died. All right, they still had all of these at the end. That's fine. So Liliana's Triumph comes in. Don't even know that I want a Lily Last Hope. Like, the plus mode isn't all that great. The minus mode returning some of this stuff is fine. But But I think I mostly just want a few more removal spells. Cookie Kid, you don't reveal a hand of like Bolt Days, Force, or something like that on accident. Like that was there was no way you could win sort of scenario. So I think all my cards are kind of okay utility here. So I'm not entirely sure where I want to go and make my cuts. It's possible that, like, in respect of my life total, it should just be Thoughtseize, and I'll go a little lighter on early interaction than I otherwise might like. It's possible I could trim some Ashioks. You swap Push for Triumph, usually. I still want to leave in some number of pushes. Like, I know we got by something that I can't push this game, but there's still going to be, like, Tarmogoyfs and Delvers in there, right? So I think rather than cut, I'm just going to trim some stuff. I would like to play first. Mulligan. Yikes. I still think I keep this one and try to spike that other land. I will take the True Name Nemesis. Thank you. I know I've got answers to it currently, but I have, like, no idea if I am actually going to draw a land to play these. So I don't just want them to go, like, Wrenn and 6 into True Name and then, like, be far enough ahead by the time I get my next land drop that I can't actually resolve the Liliana's Triumph. Like, as we saw before, I'm fine with Wrenn and 6 sitting on the table for just, like, turn after turn after turn. All right, just mono bolts and brainstorms. I'll take a brainstorm. So we're just going to hit the failure rate of our deck this game, I think. These brainstorms are so good with the Wrenn and 6 Plus, by the way, just in case that wasn't very, very, very obvious. The Wrenn and 6 also makes the Hymn to Turok slightly worse. Ah, great. Force of Will. So that'll eat one of my Liliana's Triumphs. That's a super punishing flip to Delver there. And punishes me for not playing Liliana's Triumph, but I didn't want to play Lily's Triumph into Days. Now I don't know that I can take a turn to him. Yeah, I saw XJ Cloud's pile. It's hilarious. So if I take a turn to him, I take 7, go down to 6. Then I edict away this, go down to 2, and then the run in 6 probably kills me. So I think this is going to be like Liliana's Triumph in their upkeep. It probably gets countered. Then hope to draw a land so I can him and Lily's Triumph on the following turn. I mean, I still think I'm straight dead. Like, I missed land drops for like 3 turns. Too bad I can't draw both land and Dead of Winter, because that would be pretty sick right about now. So let's take that last card. And then be dead on board. We're just dead to Tarmogoyf attack, Ren minus. Okay, we're not dead on board. Oh wait, it grew the Tarmogoyf by 1. Never mind. We were dead on board in a different way. I'm not going to get discouraged by that. Any deck can have a bad mulligan. Like, we couldn't keep the 7, and the 6 was bad, but had a chance if we spiked the second swamp for turn 2. I don't think we beat Delver on 5. This is rough. Like, this keep would be 5 lands and Dead of Winter. I don't think I do that. I think I ship this one. Oh my god. Ugh. I think we've gotten about as unlucky as possible. Let me tell you, I played some matches against this deck, and they did not look like this. No, I think 22 is a perfectly reasonable number of like mana-producing lands. Well, the good news is we took my opponent's only spell. The bad news is I don't have a second land. Well, you have to be running basically all snow-covered lands if you want to make use of Dead of Winter. Dark Ritual, Dead of Winter. Not exactly the most feel-good play I've ever made, but, like, it still traded 2 for 2. God, don't just, like, true name me right now after I did that. I'd be so salty. That's what Legacy is about, right? 2 for 2s? That's how that works, isn't it? Alright. Yeah, I think that Brainstorm's a devastating draw. Yeah, so like 21 or 22 mana producing lands plus Dark Rituals seems like plenty of mana to me. I think we've just like we've gone feast and famine with land draws in these last 2 games. Maybe I can beat a Ren Emblem. The Emblem might not win. Like, there are still things that they just can't beat, right? Oh man. We have stuff. Whatever I do probably just gets countered here. Attacking their hand isn't really that great, so I'll use this as the bait spell here. Pete Head and Otis0951, as well as Duckles, thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content here, even though my draws have not been very forgiving here. Land? Nope. Oh, awesome. I hope you've been enjoying like the daily D&T stuff that I've been doing. That's been a lot of fun for me. Oh, do you just have another bolt now? Okay, fine. Alright, so we'll kind of do the same thing as before, where we trim some stuff and then bring in the Liliana's Triumph. Yeah, I ordered a bunch of stuff for modern D&T for paper, so I can play that at the local F&Ms and get myself out of the apartment every once in a while. See, like, this is a much more reasonable hand. Keep. This is what I'm around for. I guess I don't really need this upkeep step until like I have a curse scroll or something. All right, we took a Delver and a Wasteland out. Yeah, Pete, that's why I'm picking up like modern and occasionally doing some modern content now. There's just like zero legacy content, or sorry, zero legacy paper magic available near me. So I'm hoping I can do a little bit of paper magic, meet some people who want to play some legacy, maybe get a scene started locally. Otherwise, it's like drive an hour to Charlotte to play legacy, which I'm fine with for a big event, but like it's no good for weeklies. Given that I'm not under much pressure, I think I'm gonna like wait a turn or two to play out this Dead of Winter. I might be able to get another creature out of the deal. Oh yeah, like when I've lived in other places. Alright, so I'll keep Stifle in mind. It's not going to be particularly potent against our deck, but it does do some things. I do nothing a lot. You start by just carrying around a box of legacy cards. Or sorry, a box of legacy decks that are proxied, and you start asking people, hey, do you want to play? Alright, so I can play around Daze right now, but not Pierce. If I cast this turn, can I Tombstalker next turn? And the answer is yes, 6, 7, 8. Because it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I should probably go ahead and cast the Dead of Winter here. We take out the Delver. Yeah. So, like, to grow a legacy scene, you just need to, like, start with a group of, maybe 4 or 5 people who are really willing to, like, go and play and, like, be consistent about it. And if you have people showing up to play Legacy, even if it isn't, like, I'm going to cast this first. And then I can play both around Daze. Like, once you start building a core, you can do other things to that core. Alright, fucking really? Like, I have an Obliterator. You're not supposed to have outs to that. I'm slightly triggered. Yeah, I guess past tense is appropriate here. I guess I know 2 of their cards. They can't have double Daze that I need to play around. So I'll play around single Daze. If you like Snapcaster Dismember me, I'm going to lose my shit. Fool! Little do you know what's coming. So pre-combat, I'm going to cast my Rotting Regisaur. I just want to make sure it resolves. If it resolves, I'll be attacking with Tombstalker. If it doesn't resolve, I'll probably hold Tombstalker back. See, this is more what it looked like when I played against this deck. It's just like extremely big, scary creatures murdering me. No, the creature package here is absolutely amazing. So what are they hoping for? I suppose they're hoping for like a true name nemesis, because like that would hold the ground versus this. I will discard a card. So, like, the big question right now is, does my opponent have Lightning Bolt? Oh, no, they have the Spell Snare. I know about that. Never mind. Okay. So, if I attack him with both of these, it is a lethal attack, so my opponent needs to chump block. So I would kill their Tarmogoyf. The Mongoose would be left alive. They'd be at 5. It's possible I don't even want to attack with the Regisaur. And I just want to leave it back because, like, it probably can't. I guess attacking would play around something like a Vapor Snag. Okay. So they are taking the way that gives them lethal if they draw Bolt. Tilt. Yeah, like it's possible I lost that one there. But I guess since they're dead in the air, the next turn, no, like they would just be like holding the Delver back, so they're not like technically dead in the air the following turn. But if they block with that Delver, they probably can't win the game. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, if I don't attack with both and they do have something stupid like a Vapor Snag, then I just, like, lose for not making the attack. I was giving them exactly one draw to find Bolt, and they already had locked in their top card from a cantrip the previous turn. Like, I'm comfortable making that attack. I'll keep this hand. It's not amazing. This is a hand that will be fine against a control deck. Not really great against something like Delver if we play against that for the 3rd round in a row. So if this is Grixis control, we have some fine cards here. Soon to be fine card here. The Tombstaker won't be looking great against Baleful Strix, though. That, though, that's a fine draw. I think I'm just going to try to resolve the big dinosaur here rather than the Curse Scroll. I don't really care about discarding this swamp. It's just embarrassing if they have Strix. Yeah, they do. I'll Curse Scroll it out of the way. So Requiem, once someone shows me non-traditional cards, I'm more likely to believe that they have more non-traditional cards. So now I need to put this dot back on my upkeep. So it's not like super awkward, right? So I get to like upkeep, Curse Scroll, Name Dark Ritual, kill this Baleful Strix. My opponent has K command. This sucks. They have it. We will name Challenger Troll here. So we had everything we needed here. It just didn't work out. I do want to say that Rad Hazard went 4-1 with this deck in the league where I ran into them. So I think we are on a bad part of variance here. At least my opponent is giving me outs. Unless they have, like, Force of Will as well. Dead of Winter's so sick. Fatal Push is so sick. Less so now. Now I think I just get buried by Jace Brainstorm. Right, but I feel like I've had, like, the wrong ratio of mana to spells in, like, X-1 games. And then this game is just, like, a disaster of, like, Baleful Strix and my own Rotting Regisaur coming back to bite me because I keep drawing like that. I'm just going to go ahead and ship this one here. Let's sideboard. Elder Spells, go, 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 go. Screw your Jaces. We'll play Lily Last Hope for Baleful Strix and other small things that are getting in the way. Fatal Push, not particularly a potent card. And I can see myself cutting some of the Rotting Regisaurs for, like, kind of exactly the reason that we saw there. I don't know that I cut all of them, because, like, they're still big. But if I do cut all of them, it makes my numbers work. I don't think I need Spyglass, since I'm going to bring in 4 Elder Spells as well. I would like to play first. Oh, I should have cut this Maze of Ith. So I'm not really interacting with my opponent until turn 3. Is that fine? I don't think it is. I think I mull this one and try to find something where I can play out some earlier cards. Nope, it is not meant to be. So I'll keep that, chip the Maze of Ith that I should have boarded out. At least I get the Thoughtseize. So if I leave them with Thoughtseize, they will also get Snapcast or Thoughtseize. Their hand's really good. And is really good. I think the Hymn is the most devastating part of this hand, since I'm probably going to get stuck on lands again. So now I need to draw a land in my next 2 draw steps for the Ashiok. Oh, this is great. This is so good. Perfect draw step. Alright, so I took Force and Bloodstain Mire, leaving them with Tarn, Snapcaster, and Mystery Card. Super happy if I draw a land to go Ashiok minus Exile the Thoughtseize. No? Okay. A man can dream. I assume this is just like main phase Snapcaster Thoughtseize, yeah. Interesting. I would have considered leaving the Ashiok since they have a creature to pressure now. I mean, we're here to jam. They have some number of Edicts and Jace on summon to answer this, as well as counter spells. Force pitching Force. So there's 3 of 4 forces. So my future Haymakers are pretty likely to resolve. I'm going to cast this now. I don't think it's fantastic to do so, but I'm worried about it being dead later. Alright, so we kind of forced a Snapcaster into being a bad card. Now we're looking to draw a Dead of Winter or a Liliana, take care of these bodies. See what we're working with. Oh god, do they have like a Tombstalker or a Gurmag? That's far better Then Dead of Winter right now. That's no good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am just dead. Well, this is a disaster. I haven't gotten to do anything cool. I haven't even taken a game. No, I totally agree. Like, I don't think this deck is like tier 1 by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even think it's tier 2, but I think it is much more playable than these games have shown. Like, when I played against it, it was absolutely terrifying, and the entire time I was convinced that I was going to lose. And then this time around, I've just gotten, like, stuck on lands or flooded most games, or just, like, flopped around and died in some other fashion quickly. Like, that's going to happen to, like, a non-blue deck some percentage of the time, but I feel like we've been on the wrong side of basically everything so far. Let's see if we can redeem this, like, turn this into a 2-3. Yeah, like, what's my uptime right now? Yeah, so we've done three matches and a deck tech in 59 minutes. Like, that's just not interactive Magic, right? All right, great hand. Great hand. Cannot complain about this in any fashion. This one's a keep. Let's see what's going on. I like the plan of discard into Planeswalker. That's a good recipe. Prepare for goblins? I don't think so. Depths. Sylvan's Crying. Okay. See if we can Hymn to Turok some goodies out of hand. So I don't know if it's the Hogak mess, because, like, there's a version with Hogak and there's a version without that are both playing Reclaimer. We got a Crop Rotation and a Sylvan Safekeeper. Depths Hexmage. Alright, well, that's unbeatable. No, it's not. I could draw Maze of Ith. That would be hilarious. So I'm going to go ahead and push to force the issue. Just confirm that my opponent has the ability to make a 20/20 and click through properly. Then I'm going to hymn them, see what else is in their hand, duress, and then I'll concede. And there's no way they don't go for a dead end step there. Alright, so Edict, Spyglass seem good. Lily Last Hope is fine against some number of the X1s in that deck. I don't need to bring it in, but I might. Yeah, I am not going to be counting on Jarvis to make egregious errors in order to win. So what's the worst part of my deck? Probably the ability to grind. Like, I need to kind of, like, slam my opponent early and then kill them quickly. So some of this, like, Endless Atlas, Curse Scrolls type stuff should probably go. So I think I'm going to, like, trim at least 2 of those. I think the pushes are just going to go, and I'll count on, like, the Dead of Winters to go and clear the field of the little idiots. And maybe cut all the Endless Atlases that leave me with. Mill's probably not a real win condition. But, like, the static ability here is quite powerful. So it leaves me with Curse Scroll, a bunch of big guys, some Planeswalkers. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'll be keeping this. I have a reasonable 1, 2, 3 curve. I'm a little worse off than I'd like to be to a piece of turn 1 discard. So I think I name... geez, the Ashiok's a little awkward in the face of the Vampire Hex Mages. I guess I still name Hex Mage to just stop the combo immediately. And somewhat protect my Planeswalker. Yeah, I can eventually take out the Hex Mages. The question is, like, do I just play an Ashiok out now? If I play an Ashiok out now, I'm not supposed to downtick it. I'm just supposed to cast it, leave it at 5 loyalty. Let 1 attack hit. Let a second attack hit Liliana's Triumph, the other Hex Mage. Super weird. Well, not super weird, but weird. This is going to set me up to kill 1 with this, kill the other with this. and we temporarily blank the Sylvan Scrying in hand in the interim. Dead of Winter would be absolutely sick as a draw. No. Gonna go ahead and do this now for Dryad Arbor reasons. I know they can't fetch for it, but if they were to hardcast that, it would be quite annoying. Another creature's a little rough here. Yeah, like, we've got some things going for us here. Like, the fact that we had 2 cards with the same name in hand was very good. We can keep this from ultimating, but my opponent now might, like, minus. Haha, gotcha. They were the same. Pithing Needle on Curse Scroll is a little annoying. It means the Liliana could realistically do something. Alright, so it gets back a Vampire Hexmage, and they get to deploy it immediately. So, I think I say bye-bye to Ashiok and nuke those other Hex Mages. So they can't be returned. They all have the same mark. They don't even have to be tactically cute. Alright, so there's Thespian Stage in a 2020. And I don't think I beat that. Rats. Think I have no outs now. Another Curse Scroll definitely isn't doing it. Alright. Well, we played an interactive match that time, but we're just, like, not getting there with this at all. This is really unfortunate because I think his deck looks sweet. And I think, like, the creature suite is well positioned in it. Like, I think these are awesome threats to be playing right now. The 05-010 dream, it is definitely alive. So, like, I think these are fine creatures for the metagame when everyone's derping around with, like, the mid-range Ren and 6 stuff. Like, these are great threats. They even, like, are going to outclass the Tarmogoyf most of the time. But, like, we're getting bullied. Starting to think of, like, my backup plan of what I'm going to do with the second half of this stream. I don't think I'm going to stop streaming after, like, nothing. Play Cotton Taxes for a little while. I might do that. Okay, this is another fine opener. Like, totally happy with this. Let's get more hands that look like this. I also may be a glutton for punishment and, like, try to improve on, like, this O10 spree. They're playing against Bomberman. This Thoughtseize is probably going to be pretty awesome. Chalice on 1. Never mind. Note, I still will be casting these to get them out of my hand for Curse Scroll reasons. Or I guess I can't even cast the Curse Scroll. Maybe I won't be casting these. No, I'll still be casting them for Delve. All right, what's going on, opponent? Do you have an actual decision over there, or did you just forget you did an F6? Hello, hello, Mr. Elephant. There was a real decision. Okay, the decision about bobble timing. Yeah, I sure am not interacting with that Chalice of the Void. That's there forever. So are they just gonna, like, mentor me? Salvagers me? Karn me? So I literally do not think I can win the game if they make their next land drop. So they just get, oh no, they're going for LED? Interesting. I'm a little confused because, like, liquid metal coating there seems absolutely nuts to me. Maybe they have Soul Land, though. Maybe they had Soul Land as their last card, so it's just Soul Land, LED, Crack, Lattice, win. So they didn't have all those cards when they made that line. To just make that clear. Alright, so Spyglass seems good against Bomberman. Edicts seem terrible. I'll probably play some number of Elder Spells, maybe not all 4. What's bad? Fatal Push is pretty medium at best. Like, I'd rather rely on this to, like, get rid of mentors and such. Yeah, not a Null Rod deck. Maybe I'll trim an Endless Atlas because of the Karns. Maybe I'll play 3 Elder Spells and then junk the Maze of Ith. That looks good to me. I would like to play first, yes. This is a turn 2 Tombstaker. Turn 1, Thoughtseize. Turn 2, have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. The 7th card is the Thoughtseize. This is a turn 3 Tombstaker. Keep. This is borderline. Gate to Phyrexia is a black card that can answer artifacts. Some terrible enchantment that, like, you can sacrifice a creature at your upkeep to destroy an artifact or an enchantment or something of that ilk. So my opponent's hand is super slow. I'm going to take the bauble and not give them any redraws and hope that I can strip their hand or clock them with Tombstaker before their other cards matter. Son of a bitch. That was their best possible top deck, given the texture of my hand. I couldn't have last turn, right? So it was 3. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 last turn. So I had 2 lands, that's the starting point, and then each Dark Ritual adds 2. Oh, fuck, the Dark Ritual fuels Delve. No, Petehead, I made a terrible error. I didn't count the Dark Rituals for Delve. So I could have had a 5/5 in play. Like, I could have already whacked my opponent for 5. I'm blaming Twitch chat for that one, though. That one's on you all. You all should have caught that. I did Dark Ritual math like twice. Nobody stopped me. We're blaming you guys for that one. Thank you, Lord Darkview. I appreciate it. So my opponent could be at 10 right now. And I could also have a Rotting Regisaur in play. We'll see how crazy my opponent goes with the Mystic Forge, though. Not that crazy. So my opponent could be at 5 right now. Yeah, I might just like die right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna die right here. Was that not lethal? Like, wasn't it just lethal? Like, if it wasn't lethal that way, it's certainly lethal if they just go, like, play LED, crack LED, minus Karn, get, like, literally anything, and do it. Yeah, so this is already lethal. So, I will say I didn't punt away this game. Because if my opponent didn't have me dead last turn, they could have cracked their LED, minus Karn, gotten Ensnaring Bridge, and then I never could have beaten that. Like, my current out is, like, opponent tapping their Ancient Tomb and killing themselves. So I did not throw this game with my mistake. It was a terrible, egregious error. But, you know. You know what? No blocks. All right. That was the 05-010 league. That was awful. I'm not gonna leave it at that. I'm not doing it. Like, we can do better. I'm running that back. This deck looks like so much fun. I want to have some of the fun with this deck. Like, let's do it. I'm gonna play till about 10. Is this one of the players we just played? Or does someone else have an elephant as well? The elephant deck was one of the multicolored decks, right? If it's the same player. Look, when you can play a Planeswalker on turn 1, it's basically always correct to do so, right? It's so sweet against fetch lands. Oh, this is just like Bomberman again? Okay. If I would have paid attention to that, I would have played the Regisaur on turn 1 instead. Double Karn. Get him. I guess thanks for letting me exile your Bobble, too. Mill. Just invert it. Go 05-010 into 50-10-0. I would be okay with that happening. That would redeem my pride. A walking ballista, you say? So this is actually kind of interesting. So I can think about whether or not I actually want to like push this ballista to guarantee that I get in 7 points of damage. And I think that is something that I want to do. I think I'm going to get rid of this, because if I don't draw a land this turn, this becomes a dead card. Oh, sorry, I forgot about Chalice. It's not nearly as interesting of a choice as I thought. See, like, this is what I wanted to do with this deck. This right here. Lol. And we'll do this right now, so they can't, like, block and then shoot it. Yeah, Connor, if you just tuned in now, don't listen to what anyone in chat tells you about what happened previously. It's all lies and attacks on my personal character, I guarantee it. I'll put you to 1. Why would you say the deck's bad? Look, we just won our game. We currently haven't dropped a game in this league. Shh. So before, I think I just brought in the spyglasses, and that was basically it. No, I brought in like 3-ish Elder Spells. I don't think I want to ley line since I can Ashiok. So what did I do before? I ended up junking the pushes and trimming Endless Atlas. Keep. Hopefully don't get chaliced. My kingdom to be on the play there. Just turn 1 Rotting Regisaur before they can do anything. Yeah, Ratchet Bomb would be sick. I mean, they are very all in on this Chalice. So I'm kind of hoping they just like play a Karn, I Elder Spell it, and then I make them look like a fool. Karn, 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 Karn. That is not Karn. That's very disappointing for me. I'm pitching the Dark Ritual end of turn. So we were fine if our opponent's payoff card was Karn. They have some tough Mystic Forge decision here. The last couple of Legacy sets have really changed Legacy. Ren and 6, Plague Engineer, Narset, Karn, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Less so M20, obviously, but the ones before that were just absolutely game-changing. Yeah, M20 got Veil of Summer, which is very, very good. Chandra Awaken one, also very good. Probably not so much vintage for that one, though. Alright, what's going on over there, friend? I just want to, like, cast a Dark Ritual that does nothing, and then a Thoughtseize that does nothing. Is that so much to ask? Now watch them get, like, Soul and Karn this turn and just lock me out, and I'll be sad. Yeah, this card, when it resolves, is going to do really stupid things. 6. Chalice on 3. That's slightly annoying. That shuts off their mentors too, though. Yeah, so now we throw this away and we're hoping to delve for Tombstaker. We're just probably not going to beat this Mystic Forge sitting there, though. Correction, we're not going to beat that Mystic Forge. We don't need to do that much damage with this Tombstaker. We just have to hope my opponent has nothing on top of their deck. But they're going through all of their nothing. We just need them to hit lands. Mono lands. We live to fight another day. So this is 8. I have 4, 7 currently. That makes it so I can cast it next turn. I already could have anyway. But I'm bored, so I'm going to cast a spell. Yeah, I've played goblins in multiple leagues before. They're up on YouTube. It's been a while. I did a good league with Goblin Lackey earlier this summer. I think it was like June. That one was really fun. But I like most Ether Vial decks that aren't Merfolk. Because fuck the fish people. What are you doing for 4 mana right now in my main phase? Oh wait, it's your main phase. Sorry, they had sat there for a while. Alright. Do you actually have a kill? Like, as soon as you show me a kill card. That probably does it. Assuming you boarded out a Ballista. They might not have one in the board. They could all be in the main deck. But seeing as they junked 6 mana, Mycosynth Lattice, alright, just cast that. Sure. Alright, so Chalice is absurdly good against this deck, even though we only have 10 1-drops somehow. Kind of weird how that works. But I guess so much of our power is from like the Dark Ritual and Thoughtseize to like buy the time to get to this stuff that when I don't have it, it's just very, very, very noticeable. This is not a stellar hand. So I can Thoughtseize on turn 1, but then I have no real follow-up. I think I'm going to mulligan this and try to get like a turn 1 or turn 2 big idiot. I think I'm just going to lose to their generic stuff if they resolve it. I don't think just like turn 3, 7, 6, turn 4, 5, 5 is good enough. I'm going to mulligan. Let's be aggressive. This I'll keep. I'll ship back the Dead of Winter and the Obliterator. Well, they're going to get to keep their Chalice this time. I need to take one of Forge or Salvagers here. I'm going to take the Forge. So this is great because I'm now guaranteed to hit their well, not guaranteed. I'm likely to hit their Salvagers with my Hymn to Turok. I like my opponent cracking the bobble there for Hymn to Turok reasons. They want to have as many cards as possible for hymns. Because like they know they have one card that they want to keep. It's absolute daggers if I leave them with exactly these 2 cards, by the way. Alright, I got rid of Plains. So they kept the good card. Let's see if they have a mana source. Well, they have a mana source. It's kind of an awkward one. in that like they're going to cast the Salvagers, but they're not going to be left with white mana. Oh my god, why? This is a feel bad moment. So I'm going to name the Mystic Forge so that they can't do this like exile thing anymore, and they get stuck on their lands. And then I'm going to hope that they don't find a ballista to, like, just or a ballista or a land to just go off with the Salvagers. I kind of hope that I then peel discard to take the Salvagers out of hand before they can cast it. Yeah, I know, but I don't. I think I have to dodge them drawing a land and shut off the Mystic Forge, because otherwise I'll just lose to that too. Alright, it wasn't meant to be. So, like, I'm kind of light on interaction for that deck, and I don't think this is worth bringing in to shut off the combo, since I just, like, lose to so much of the rest of their deck. I think I have to, like, keep my core disruptive and aggressive elements there, and then, like, keep the things that can answer Mentor. It just does not feel bad. The deck's attacking from too many angles, and as a mono black deck, I can't fight back. Like all the artifacts and crap that hit play, like I just couldn't answer. Well, I'll keep. I'll probably bottom the Dead of Winter and go like Dark Ritual Ashiok, hope to mise the game. Oh, my opponent mulliganed. Yeah, I'll keep this. Send back Dead of Winter. Done. This is a pretty respectable land, despite only having one land. Alright. Ashiok as the all-in play. Not good against my opponent's hand. It's super unfortunate. The Rotting Regisaur on turn 1 probably would have won versus this hand. The Ashiok does... Oh, or sorry, that was... Sorry, not their hand, their deck. So, like, the Ashiok can be pressured by goblins quickly. Like so. And, like, they're not going to be searching. And I also bottomed a Dead of Winter. So that also doesn't help. I mean, odds. It's the wrong side of variance night. I'm just here to go 0-10 and have some fun, or something. I know it was correct to put that Dead of Winter on bottom, but like, boy, do I wish I had it. Well, the good news is my opponent is not great at Magic. They attacked the Rabblemaster at the Ashiok and missed a bunch of points of damage. I don't even know that it was correct to attack Ashiok on the previous turn, by the way. Like, Ashiok doesn't do anything against their deck. Against, like, it's in fact sometimes actively good. Alright, so against Red Prison, the answers to Planeswalkers are nice, and the Spyglass is something that we can consider as well. The Fatal Pushes aren't particularly good. We'll try to rely on Dead of Winter to sweep all the goblins. And I don't know that I need 6 answers to walkers. That's like a ton. Some of these can probably go. Maybe all of them. Like, trying to win via the mill plan is not the greatest unless you're going to keep all of these in and, like, rely on it as part of your strategy. I think I'll keep 1 push and just plan on winning this with creatures. Maze of Ith, also pretty bad. Maybe if they hide behind Bridge off Karn, like there's worlds where I mill them out. Don't love it, but I also don't think like this is particularly good either. I know we said this a couple of times already, but like, boy, Ratchet Bomb in the sideboard would be such a deal breaker, right? Like, just as a way to go and like answer Chalice plus Moxen and all the other crap that we've seen tonight. We're relatively light on permanents below CMC 3, so we wouldn't do that much collateral damage to ourselves. I would like to play first. Yeah, this hand is fine. Like, we get Thoughtseize into, like, have an answer to some goblins, into have something that can muck with planeswalkers. My opponent has boarded into Leyline, and then they have a Helm of Obedience in the sideboard, which I think is hot garbage and is not worth doing, just by the way. We'll be taking Goblin Rabblemaster here. They don't have a single red mana right now, let alone double. Yeah, like, why would... I don't get people playing Helm in the sideboard. And I think that's the only reason why you would consider bringing these in this matchup, right? Is Chrome Box better than Scab Clan Berserker? Real questions. It probably is. I'm going to take the Scab Clan. Oh, I see. They thought I was Reanimator or, like, traditional Pox just because I saw so few cards. I could buy that. So they're going to pitch whatever they got for turn to that. All right, they pitch a Blood Moon to that to enable their future draws. All right, so now I have the Goblin side of the stuff handled. I'm actually not too bad off against Planeswalkers. Yeah, Trinisphere is fine. I missed. I showed them my Dead of Winter. Awkward. Well, do I want to just cast that on them to just like get a card out of my hand for Curse Scroll reasons, or do I want to save it in case they draw something that's double red? I think I'll save it in case they do something that's double red. Alright. Curse Scroll doing an average of 1 damage per 3 mana expended. Strong. We take a mountain out. 100% they should have played out that mountain. That mountain gives them the second red source that they need to cast many of their spells. Fiery Confluence, Chandra, Other Chandra, Scab Clan Berserker. Now they don't have access to double red. They have picked up on that this turn. So this is slow going. Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Let's roll the dice, see if we just get to kill that without using a card. Phyrexian Obliterator. You did not get obliterated. That is not going to work the way I want it to. Dark Ritual, very bad in the face of Trinisphere. So since that Trinisphere is never leaving play, though, I should probably just cast this and get it out of my hand because it's free to do so. Like, it costs 3 mana to make 3 mana. Yeah. Alright. There. Now it begins. Note, I probably will not want to play a 5th land, because I still want to be able to Dead of Winter away their idiots. I should probably upkeep Curse Scroll them and try to put them dead this turn. Nice. Alright, anything I want to change about sideboarding based on what I saw? Probably not. The only thing I can consider is Fatal Push when I am on the draw, but it's worse against Chalice. On the draw, these are not nearly as safe. I think I'm going to play the Mediocre Lilies instead, and maybe there's worlds where those get to ultimate. I assume my opponent's going to take a while and, like, reboard now that they have more information about what I'm doing. So I don't really have early interaction, but I think this one is going to still be a keep, because I have an answer to some goblins. Those are still in? Why? Because like I have an answer to an early planeswalker, I have an answer to early goblins. It's a little rough if they go like turn 1 goblin, turn 2 goblin. It hurts. All right, so they are all in on this Rabble Master. So assuming that they don't draw something else this turn, I'll be okay against this Rabble Master. Not great. My life total will be lower than I want. Oh, never mind. That's a great draw. So now I have Elder Spell for a Planeswalker that hits the field like that. So I'll just take 2 damage from this Chandra. Totally fine. Good job, Elder Spell. 9 life is a bit of a scary number. Seven life is a bit of a scary number. I do need to kill this. I can't take the turn off to just play my big derpy dinosaur. But big derpy dinosaur will kill in 2 hits. So you just kind of have to dodge my opponent getting something that's absolute gas this turn. Oh my god, triple running Chandra here? Into a... Okay, at least they couldn't cast that. Hey, welcome. I need to do something kind of cool in upkeep. Kind of cool thing I can do, it's discard Dark Ritual. Isn't that great, chat? Junk it. Comes a choice in every man's life, where he must choose between going to the face and going to the Planeswalker. I'm going to choose going to the Planeswalker. Super unfortunate that I made the choice to go to the Planeswalker given that draw. But I think it was correct to just hope to dodge for one turn. Well, this is fine. Right, Chalice. It's not fine. So I have to hold this back, or I just die to token plus Rabblemaster attacking in. Draw Dead of Winter. Draw land. So I'm just dead to my opponent producing goblins and swinging in, right? I can Endless Atlas, draw a card, but then do nothing. That's unfortunate. So I'm just going to pass with mana up. Maybe they don't attack with everything. But they probably attack with everything. I think I beat a more reasonable draw from our opponent, but this was silly. They found the line. I mean, Chandra, Chandra, Chandra as a sequence is pretty nutty. Like, it's not the kind of draw that, like, locks out someone on turn one, but it is the sort of draw where when you're playing against a deck that wants to, like, grind back against you and dodges some of your primary hate, like, that's the kind of draw you want. One sec, I'm just going to shut the camera for one moment. Boop. Boop. So we still have the O10 dream alive here. We can't seem to get a single game, or sorry, we can't get a single match with this deck. I'm not going to claim that I've piloted perfectly or anything, but like these cards should mize some matches here and there. I also think we win that match if I led on like Rotting Regisaur in that game one rather than Ashiok Dream Render. But I think it's correct to lead on Ashiok blind. It just kind of like is what it is. So I feel like Sorceress Spyglass loses out on some utility if you're playing a bunch of Elder spells. So I kind of feel like 2 to 3 of these cards over here should be some Ratchet Bombs. I feel like that would drastically improve this deck. Like I feel like I should be able to ignore Chalice more than the games have shown me. Like, I don't know if I've just gotten absolutely bit in the butt by Chalice at, like, very opportune times or what, but, like, I only have 13 1-drops, but it's just felt like Chalice has been backbreaking every time it's hit play. It's very strange to me. We're a little mana short, but I think I keep this hand. Hope to play against something fair. Of course, like, this will be the time now that I get paired against Storm when I don't have, like, turn 1 Dark Ritual Ashiok. But I feel like the potential of 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop that I can do with a land and 3 draw steps is fine. Just play Bob, don't play Chalice. Oh, library's scary. It looks like we're probably playing against 4-color Loam. In which case, my Fatal Push is in hand. Probably not looking the best. I don't have fetch lands to enable Fatal Push either, so if they just play Knight of the Reliquary, I have to, like, Dead of Winter that away, in all likelihood. Alright. Wrenn and 6 is not something that I care too much about. Like, the scariest thing about it is just my opponent hitting their land drops every turn, which is annoying with Sylvan Library around. No, if you want to take a look at the deck list, you can click the set of cards on the left-hand side of the screen. That's the Cardboard Live extension, and you can see the exact deck list. But it's just like 21 basic swamps and 1 Maze of Ith for lands. Well, that's one I haven't seen in a long time. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen that card in play in Legacy. I don't think I've seen that since Spoiler Season. I've seen the red-green one. Alright, Abrupt Decay my thingy. I still think I need to play this now. Oh, nice. I got the Dark Depths and the Blast Zone with that Exile. That was an incredibly good Exile. What's the emblem do? Okay. Port is a huge annoyance here. Is my opponent, like, not playing Loam? Are they actually playing something closer to just, like, actual factual lands? Also, why did they not port me? Like, is this just lands with a bunch of main deck planeswalkers? Because I'm starting to think that. Because otherwise it doesn't make a ton of sense why they didn't port me. Resolves. Yeah, I guess my opponent is playing, like, Bizarro lands. Huh. I've never seen a lands deck with main deck Vraska. This is like game one, right? Like, I didn't, like, sleep through a game. Yeah. The Vraska running 6 combo is kind of cute, where, like, you plus get a land, like, Vraska plus sack the land you got to just, like, convert it into a card of your choice. So, unfortunately, by, like, Ashiok down-ticking there, I give my opponent the opportunity to, like, run in 6 minus kill my Ashiok, right? Yeah. But I still think it's correct to just, like, aggressively exile everything they've got going on over there. Because, like, if I don't keep minusing, the Vraska can just minus and kill this anyway. A lot of cards in hand that are just, like, very, very poor for the current matchup. Obliterator is probably pretty sick with Mazavith in exile, though. Yeah, that's about all as expected. A Tabernacle. Cool. So the Thespian stage copying the port and denying me multiple mana every turn against these walkers is going to be obnoxious. Yep. So I don't really think I can concede here because, like, Dark Ritual is just, like, such a good draw. Like, Dark Ritual getting a Phyrexian Obliterator in play when this can, like, only Abrupt Decay and this can only do damage is so good. But we're in it for the long haul at this point. This is not going to be a fun game of Magic. I think I'm going to just start F6ing through my opponent's turn. If they play something, I can Fatal Push. My lands are getting ported in my upkeep anyway. Note the Elder spells I'm going to get for post-sideboard games are going to be insane. Jeez, that's a third port. I think the chances of me drawing enough lands and dark rituals to get through this versus my opponent just like finding a dark depths and going off. Like I think they're very, 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 very favored. Well, there's something that makes the Vraska downtick instead of uptick. Good news for me. This little buddy doesn't actually need to do that much damage. It's 3 hits right now. It'll probably be 2 hits by the time I can actually get one of these in play. Riveting game. The exploration is quietly doing a little bit of work here as well. It'll be so good if it hits play. It doesn't feel like heaven. I imagined heaven having more of these resolving. Okay, there's the 2020. Now that I can see that I'm dead, I'm just going to go ahead and concede. I don't think I need to grind the extra 20 seconds off the clock. Alright, Spyglass seems great against this build. Elder spells seem good. And Liliana's... So, like, most of my sideboard is going to at least be playable, and I'll have to decide how deep I want to go in some regards. I'm probably going to want to cut almost all of my removal. My opponent might have like some tireless trackers that are going to come in, but I don't know that that's a battle that I want to fight. Like, these will answer those anyway. So I guess like the next question is like, do I want to Leyline of the Void? I guess it's like hard castable in this deck, so I probably do. And the combination of Leyline plus Ashiok really shuts off the graveyard. So I feel like 3 Elder Spell probably feels about right. If I play these, then I probably need to do something like cut some discard. So I think I get the choice of like, do I want to Hymn to Turok or do I want to Leyline? You make a good point in that I don't necessarily have to like run all 4 ley lines. Like I could run 3, and then that's my 60. Yeah, yeah. I think I like that. I would like to play first. Land, Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Curse Scroll, you pass. No. Land, Curse Scroll, pass. No. Well, this one will be a keep. I'm going to assume I'm pretty far away from wanting a Maze of Ith. I'm going to junk the Maze of Ith and the Tombstaker here. Done. Pre-game effect. Leyline. Okay. Well, that's frustrating. Our opponent gets a Sylvan Library no matter what we do. So I'll take the Wrenn and 6 because it's different. I don't think it's worth taking the Mox Diamond there because they'll still get to like turn 2 Sylvan Library even if I do. And like Sylvan Librarying, leaving them away to find the red mana is dicey. Like if I Thoughtseize the Mox, then I'm leaving myself super open to opponent drawing another Mox. Ugh. I guess I'll take the Veil of Summer. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the Wrenn and 6 doesn't do enough. Like this library versus my pile of Thoughtseizes feels so bad. He says as he draws the 4th Thoughtseize on his mull to 5. Yeah, this has kind of been the story of tonight. I'm not even going to cast his Thoughtseize, I don't think. Actually, I have Curse Scroll to consider. Maybe I should just cast it. What's 2 more life? I'm bitter anyway. Alright, you just have the crop rotation and like you can end it? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Alright. We are currently 0-8 with this deck list. We cannot make a single match win happen, apparently. The 0-10 dream is real. I do think that this deck can win games. I have seen it happen. Well, actually, like I beat this deck, but like it was scary when it was on the other side of the battlefield when I was playing D&T. Yeah, so I can stream for like 24 more minutes. So like I'm gonna stream the next match, and if we don't win the next one, I'll just be calling it. If I do win the next one, like I'll have broken the streak and proved that this can win games of Magic. Yeah, I'm supposed to call home tonight, so I need to do that before it gets too late. I have time zone differences to consider. Alright, I have won the die roll. So this is a Dark Ritual hand where I don't have a Dark Ritual payoff. I don't have a third land for Endless Atlas. I think I still have to mulligan this one. Okay, see, here we go. Reasonable hand. I get to make a dinosaur. So I put one of these back. Let's say I put back a swamp. I could go land, Dark Rit, 5 mana, Rotting Regisaur, Endless Atlas. Then upkeep, discard a land, be Hellbent. It may just be better to discard the second Dark Ritual, not cast both, and then just like cast this on turn 2. Let's ship back the second Dark Ritual. Alright, opponent did not have Force of Will. We have a large dinosaur. Alright, large dinosaur, probably good against Ancient Tomb. Surprisingly annoying. I think I pitched this and just give myself the possibility of going up to enough lands. 7U. So now I'll discard Dark Ritual. I have my third land, so I can play whatever it is I need. Or whatever it is I draw, rather. Son of a bitch. Alright, so I'm now on the plan of mill my opponent out. Not kidding. Their own Trinisphere could theoretically put them up to 7 cards in hand, but I think that's unlikely. The Ancient Tombs are going to be helpful to me. What the hell is this? ETB, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter creature token with flying. Wait, does it have haste? Artifact creatures you control have haste. Okay, sure. Yeah, Obliterator is meant to be in play. What does this mean as far as deck building goes? I'm really curious about that. Is my opponent playing a bunch of, like, not Karn Great Creator, but the other 4-mana Karn, and they're like, they have construct tokens? So I'm going to play my 5th land out. But after that, I might consider not playing my lands. Dead of Winter, gonna be so hot. Do I want to Thoughtseize? I don't think so. I don't really think that's worth doing. Like, it could take something that's double red, potentially. But I think my life matters too much. So if I don't... Is there anything that punishes me for not playing this land? Essentially, if I play this land, my Endless Atlas becomes better, my Curse Scrolls become better, my Dead of Winters become worse, but I'm probably not attacking with this anyway. I'm going to go ahead and play it. But, like, there's a real debate to not playing it so that I can keep the Regisaur through a Dead of Winter. That's a great draw for my opponent. It means their Ancient Tombs aren't pinging them anymore. I'm actually very close to dead just because of P and K shooting. Yeah. So, like, there's the reason not to have played the land. So, like, I could have a body in play to prevent this from attacking and only take one a turn. Oh, man, I helped them out so much by getting rid of those Moxen. Those were just sitting in their hand for Trinisphere, or, like, because of Trinisphere, making their Ensnaring Bridge worse. Tilt. Alright, so against weird red prison build, I probably want these. I'm going to assume the Planeswalkers are in there and still board in some Elder spells. My Lily Last Hopes are better than normal because my opponent is, like, apparently all about the Thopters. So what don't I like against my opponent's build? I know they have multiple main deck bridges. They didn't tutor for that. So Ashiok as a way to win through a bridge is at least somewhat important. Fatal Push is probably pretty bad. Assuming they have Karn, I should probably at least trim that. Maybe that's too many Elder spells. Maze of Ith seems very bad. Let's cut that. And now if I'm wrong about these lilies coming in, those are my last two cuts. Yeah, this is not amazing. But, like, I probably need them to have outs to bridge. Because, like, this is a Planeswalker with an ultimate that still doesn't beat bridge. I need to have something that can win the game through bridge. No, this doesn't beat bridge. Um, Yeah, maybe I'm just wrong about these. Nerf Blaster, thank you very much for your continued support. Been around for 16 months now, off and on. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope, despite the fact that I'm getting bullied, that this is still fun. This will be a keep. I think I pitched my Spyglass and go turn 1 double Dark Ritual. Just like all in. You discard 4 cards at random. I cripple you. Hope my top deck is better than your top deck. I mean, if we can't win with double Eam to Turok on turn 1, there's no hope for the deck. Opponent has a tough mulligan decision, apparently. Also, just to like beat the dead horse, Ratchet Bomb would be a bomb sideboard card. Whee! So, like, the question is... So this is a 6-card hand, so I have to put one of these back. And I don't think keeping the Spyglass is better than keeping the double Dark Rituals and going all in on turn 1. I mean, you can do all sorts of things with the sideboard. I think the sideboard needs some retooling. Alright, so we took out 2 mana sources, which was all of their mana sources. Oh man, I'm so close to doing this. So I have 6 of my 8 needed mana available right now. Opponent says, haha, we're both trying to make opponents miserable. Alright, we have sweet cards for later. Very sweet cards for later. Chrome Box, Imprint Confluence. You have a Chalice for me? Yeah, that's fine. I could cast Dead of Winter in order to play Tombstaker next turn, but I think that's too cute. I would much rather have this for goblins. Speak of the Devil. So I just want to say, how hot would it have been if I drew a land so Phyrexian Obliterator was forced, or like Goblin was forced to attack into Phyrexian Obliterator? That would have been so spicy. Well, actually, I should probably just Tombstalker rather than him to Turok. Alright, you have a Karnstruct. I have a Tombstalker. I'm just going to save the Elder Spell for later. One Obliterator, boy. Don't bridge me. No! Do I even want to play this Rotting Regisaur? I don't really want to play this Rotting Regisaur. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. I need to win with Ashiok now. So I literally can't take the Chalice off the table. No, I can keep the Thoughtseize as Rotting Regisaur fuel. So the good news is that as soon as my opponent starts playing like Goblin Rabblemaster type cards, I get to start eating permanents every turn with Obliterators. Now I think I'm going to start playing out Rotting Regisaurs and just like get Hellbent. Alright. So, Endless Atlas will now sustain my Rotting Regisaur that's in play. Alright, do I just want to play out more Rotting Regisaurs and potentially lose this Elder Spell? Don't know that I do. Yeah, we're just gonna play that and pass. Yawgmoth's son. Get in here, friend. I'm gonna find a Planeswalker eventually. Or I can just find more copies of Endless Atlas. I feel like I have enough lands, even if I draw another Atlas at this point. I think I'm just going to ship the turn. Go ahead and draw a card. I like that. If I play the second Regisaur, I need to start discarding 2 cards a turn, and I don't necessarily know that I want to be doing that. A group of dinos is a family. Cool. Yeah, I still don't think I play any more stuff. Let's save up. I'm down to 26 cards in library without seeing an Ashiok, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, Elder Spell looking real hot right now. I mean, you bet I'm gonna like keep playing these Tombstalkers. What else am I gonna do with my turns? No, I kept them. All 4 are in there. Ten out of 10 game of Legacy. Lots of intricate play and interaction. Yeah, the out to the bridge is just win via milling with Ashiok. But I can't seem to draw an Ashiok to save my life. So can my opponent just kill me by throwing every artifact that's in play? Quick question. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, not enough artifacts? But because this represents damage, I could just like Dead of Winter if I wanted right now. Just so like this isn't a problem. I guess that's something I should consider. This is awkward now because I lost my Tombstalkers. It means if they play a little, like, derpy idiot that creates a 1/1 Thopter, the 1/1 Thopter can attack through my board now. Oh my god, where are my Ashioks? Where are my Ashioks at? I need them. Yeah, see, this is the derpy 1/1 that can attack now. I'll let them have a few turns of this, and then I'll probably Dead of Winter again. Hey! Hey! There we go. So I might just Dead of Winter now. And then Ashiok. Like, let's protect it from the 1/1. Don't ask about how we're doing. It's not important. What's important is how sweet our deck is. Does my opponent, like, not play Planeswalkers for their Ensnaring Bridge deck? So I mill you. I'll draw my card first. Well, the Ashiok's, like, online, but P and K can kill it. Haha. But we'll do it again. And they presumably do shoot down and kill the Ashiok. No. That is mighty interesting. Or they might just, like, sack the Chrome Mox and kill the Ashiok. So we've seen one card in all of my opponent's deck so far. One Karn in all of my opponent's deck so far, sorry. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it's going at the Ashiok. I have no plans to address that currently. I accept that deck building restriction. Alright. We have now seen 3 Karns. I got 2 Karns just now. How many Dead of Winters have I seen? 1, 2, seen 3 of them. My pushes are in the sideboard, right? My pushes are in the sideboard. So I probably need to play out a Rotting Regisaur this turn. I'm going to play out another land. Don't think it can hurt anything. So we have 2 more Ashiok in these 14 cards here. So there's just a very, very real chance of decking my opponent. Where are these going? Both are going at Ashiok. You bet I'll block. Lol, dismember. I was going to make a dismember joke, but it actually happened, which is kind of hilarious. I'd like my opponent to draw a Planeswalker so I can do something with these Elder spells that I've been, like, judiciously saving all game. That'd be cool. Obliterator's not bad. Sorcerer's Spyglass as well to help me see if there's anything scary over there. Just a City of Traders. Does this thing have a stupid ability I need to be aware of? No. Pia and Kieran Millar. So I could, like, judiciously think about what cards are left in my opponent's deck. I'm not going to do that. Like, we're just going to kind of see what happens. I don't think it's worth taking the time to count all the numbers of cards left in deck. This is a weird timeline. I have 2 Ashioks left in my bottom 8 cards. I really need one before my opponent can just, like, derp and kill me with Fiery Confluence. Curse Scroll, almost good. Curse Scroll, again, almost good. 2 Ashioks now in the bottom 6 cards. Chalice, though. Like, we have our opponent dead to Ashiok. Two Ashioks in bottom 5 cards. Two Ashioks in bottom 3 cards. That is frustrating. Now we can die to Fiery Confluence. Yeah, I can't draw and play anything else this turn. I'm gonna be so pissed if I die to top deck Fiery Confluence. At least that's not happening. Okay. Okay. There we go. Mill win. Now I have to do another game with this crap. So these Elder Spells, not great. Honestly, Fatal Push, probably better. I'm also going to like bring these Liliana Last Hopes back in. And I guess Endless Atlas did a lot of heavy lifting that game. So since they don't have Karn Great Creator, that card I think becomes much better because it's not just going to get shut off in the mid game. Since my opponent's so Planeswalker light, I guess we just like don't play those against Red Prison, which seems like blasphemy. And if we get got by Karn, we get got by Karn. So much for calling home in a timely fashion. But I wasn't stopping that game. So my opponent is mulligan to 6. I get Thoughtseize into him. It's very powerful. Tronosphere would be the scariest thing my opponent could do on the other side of the table right now. I'm going to start feeding this rather than saving it for a potential Regisaur later. Like, let's feed my Tombstaker. Let's get that in here. This is a little late. So I took out a bridge. That's awesome. I'm going to take a lot of damage here. I'm going to kind of hope that my opponent doesn't have a follow-up creature. Dead of Winter would be an amazing draw. Oh, just Fiery Confluence me. Cool. So not technically dead, but basically dead. I need to draw Dead of Winter specifically now. I'm taking 6 here. Or wait, no. I'm taking more than that. I'm just dead. Oops. I mean, not oops, but there was nothing I could do there. Alright, well that's kind of disappointing. Alright, we went 0-9 with this deck list. I'm not going to play the last one out, because that match lasted basically forever. Why are we put on this earth to suffer? Good question. So I think we did get unlucky tonight. I think this deck can win matches, but apparently it has huge consistency issues. Like, kind of like we saw that game. Like, once you get going and you get, like, Endless Atlas going and, like, you get huge amounts of card advantage with Dead of Winter, you can really do some cool things. But you're just... you don't have enough different angles of attack to really beat decks. Like, your primary angle of attack is like discard into big dude. You know, you don't have Chalice as a lockout piece. You don't have something like Blood Moon, Trinisphere to like really put the damper on people. So you're kind of either hoping you get there with your opening 7, or that you have enough land and enough interaction to let Endless Atlas start taking over the game. The total record was 0-9. We did not take a match tonight, which is a big rarity for this stream. I don't mean to toot my horn. I'm a pretty okay Legacy player. So the fact that I went 0-9, it's rough. So what would I do to improve this? We've already said Ratchet Bomb in the sideboard would be great. I feel like 3 Tombstalkers was probably too many Tombstalkers. Like, it's not great in your opening hand. You'd like to draw one late. So I'd probably junk a Tombstalker for some other big creature or something like a Bitter Blossom. I'd probably junk a Fatal Push for another card that attacks from a different angle. Like, it's possible I should still have, like, some Lilianas in here to give us something else to, like, ritual out early. So it's possible, like, these should be main deck over something like this to give us a little bit more variety, and that would open up some sideboard slots as well. Cerebral Flux, thank you very much for following, as well as MM Magnar and Diologalea, or something approximating that. I hope you enjoyed tonight's content, even though I got absolutely crushed. 6 BB Pox, that top 8 A1K. Let me take a look at that. Oh, and Dreadhorde Invasion as the other one. Yeah, see, like, this would be a cool direction if you wanted to, like, go and try something similar. But I kind of feel like I need a little bit more with this deck. I don't think this is, like, the best Rotting Regisaur deck. Like, it has some negative synergies with some other things that are happening in the deck, especially Endless Atlas. Like, I think this fits very well into, like, a deck with, like, some Bloodghast or something else that, like, goes and comes back from the graveyard. Like, the only positive synergy we have here is fueling the Tombstalkers. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So as far as my streaming goes, this is the week that I start work again. So my plan is to stream Monday nights and Saturday mornings very consistently, and then try to do a flex stream on some other evening when I'm not busy. I don't want to, like, commit to doing 3 streams a week plus daily D&T right now before I kind of, like, get a feel for what an average work week is going to be for me on the new job. But if it ends up being easy, I might, you know, commit fully to the 3 days a week plus daily D&T. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying. If you do, please consider following or doing something financial to support the channel, like subscribing, which you can do for free with your Twitch Prime. I'm going to go ahead and host XJCloud, who is going and playing some Squadron Hawk D&T, which I kind of want to watch a little bit of. Cheers!